The purpose of this video is to give my biology students an opportunity to see the types of questions and the type of information that's going to be on our 2022 biology fall final. If the question is in the Jeopardy game, it is definitely on the test, although there may be a few questions on the test that are not actually represented in the Jeopardy game. They might be on the study guide. That might have just been so easy that they didn't need to be reviewed. In any event, I hope you find this video useful, and I will give explanation whenever I possibly can. We're going to do one section at a time, and here we go. So the best way to do this is to pause the video, see if you can figure out what the answer is. If you can't, see if you can look it up in your book or in your study guide, then play the video and see if you actually got the answer correct. Here we go. Correct order of the scientific method, there are 5 steps. So the notes you did way back at the beginning of the semester, the scientific method notes, are the ones that you should use. These are not necessarily in the book. Answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so you got to identify the problem, form a hypothesis, perform the experiment. Some of you guys in Jeopardy today put collect data. You're collecting data during the experiment, but do know that you have to perform whatever experiment you have. You got to look at whatever that data is to see if your hypothesis was right or wrong. And then you're either going to modify the experiment and redo it, or you're going to communicate your results. All right, so it's conversion between the metric system and also some conversion from scientific to normal notation. You did some practice of this stuff with the sub earlier this semester. This is not necessarily in the book. Answers coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so if we're going from kilometers, which is on the far left, to meters, which is on the right, we are moving 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right. We simply move the decimal 1, 2, 3, and we run out of numbers, and you insert a 0 there. So 7320 meters. All right, scientific notation, if it is a positive exponent, the decimal moves to the right. If it's a negative exponent, the decimal moves to the left. It's positive 3, so it moves 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right, and the decimal's in between the 6 and the 3. Process used to find answers to questions. That's a vocab word on your study guide. It's correct order of the sections in a lab report. This would be on your steps for writing a lab report handout that everybody should have. And the data with units, numbers, and data that is measured is called what type of data? All right, answer coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so it's scientific method, process used to find answers to questions. Title, the objective of the lab report, your hypothesis, your procedure, the data section, it's going to be graphs, data table, and then your conclusion. Data with units, numbers, and that is measured is quantitative or count, quant, and qualitative data would be like heavy, hot, light, big. So it gives you some information, but it does not give you units and is not specific. Okay, 3 goals of science. And variable that is deliberately changed in an experiment is called what variable? Goals of science, that's in section 1-1 of your text. The variables, I think, are in section 1-2, if I'm not mistaken, of your textbook. Answers coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Investigate and understand the natural world, explain events in the natural world, and use derived explanations to make useful predictions. And the manipulated and independent variable, they mean the same thing. You should know them both. Consequently, your test is going to be 45 multiple choice questions. You will not have any written answers, no essay questions, no matching. And all the questions on the test have come from your 3 other tests/quizzes this semester. Also, the study guide for your final has identical questions to the other 3 study guides. Therefore, if you did the other 3 study guides, you won't have to look up this stuff again. All right, on to Chapter 2 in organic molecules. Three particles that make up an atom, or the three subatomic particles? Answer coming in five, four, three, two, and one. Protons, positive, electrons, negative, and neutrons are neutral. What are all the elements of life found in carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids? There are six of them. Which organic molecule is the main source of immediate energy? Answers coming in five, four, three, two, and one. All right, HCO, hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur are the six elements that make up organic molecules, and carbohydrates are quick energy. Which organic molecule stores genetic information as a genetic code? What are the monomers of proteins? And what type of organic molecule is pictured based on this diagram? It's going to be section 2-3 in your book. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, here we go. What did I just do? Sorry, give me a second. Oh, I just hit that. My bad. Okay, nucleic acids, Na, DNA, RNA store genetic information. Amino acids are the monomers of proteins, and this is glycerol, and these are fatty acids. Glycerol and fatty acids make up lipids. Glucose and fructose are both examples of what type of organic molecule? Sketch the structure of a carbohydrate, and what are the two parts that make up structures of lipids? All right, answers coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Glucose and fructose are carbohydrates. Anything that ends in ose, cellulose, sucrose. Let's see. This is what a carbohydrate looks like. It's going to have hydroxides off the carbons. It's going to have hydrogens off the carbons, and they always have at least one hydrogen with a double bond to an oxygen. Okay, and typically they are 6 carbons long. All right, and then two parts: fatty acids and glycerol make up lipids. All right, ecology and climate. This is chapter 4, chapter 6-3, chapter 3, and then also the good and the bad class notes. Sketch a food chain with 1 producer and 3 consumers. Answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so grass would be the producer, mouse primary consumer, snake secondary consumer, eagle tertiary or third level consumer, and this would be trophic level 1, trophic level 2, trophic level 3, trophic level 4. If we happen to start at 1,000 calories, this would be 100 calories, this would be 10 calories, and this would be 1 calorie, as you lose 90% of the energy every time a feeding relationship takes place. An herbivore is any organism that eats what? What natural process releases carbon dioxide from living things into the atmosphere? Answer coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so producers or autotrophs. Okay, so herbivores eat plants, and plants are called producers or autotrophs. They make their energy automatically. And respiration. We exhale, releasing carbon dioxide and water vapor into the atmosphere, and that is referred to as respiration or cell respiration, as that's where the carbon dioxide and the water vapor is coming from. Our cells into our bloodstream, to our lungs, out the lungs to the atmosphere. Blanks help in the nitrogen cycle by releasing nitrogen in animal waste. What process speeds up the release of carbon from fossil fuels into the atmosphere? True or false? Matter decreases over time. Answers coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As a decomposers help in the nitrogen cycle by releasing that nitrogen in the animal waste and making it available for plants. Combustion is the scientific word for burning, And false. Matter cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change forms, and that makes that statement false. The lengths of days differs throughout the year because the blank of planet Earth is tilted. What branch of biology deals with the interactions between organisms and their environment? What types of organisms supply food to ecosystems? And only about 10% of the available energy in a lower trophic level gets transferred to the next level. What happens to the other 90%? Answers coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, the axis of the Earth is tilted. It's tilted 23.5 degrees, and that's what gives us seasons. Ecology is that branch of biology. Producers or autotrophs, they make available all the glucose from photosynthesis at the base of all food chains, and 90% is lost as heat, or more specifically, metabolic heat. Our body temperatures, that heat just goes right into the atmosphere. All right, on to chapter 10, the cell cycle and mitosis. As a cell grows and becomes larger, more demands are placed on the cell's blank. Answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the cell's DNA. During the M phase of the cell cycle, blanks become visible. DNA becomes replicated during which phase of the cell cycle? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so chromosomes become visible, and it's the S phase, which is one of the 3 phases of interphase, and that's where your DNA gets replicated. Blanks are proteins that regulate the cell cycle. Blank is a form of cell division that results in diploid cells. Blank is a form of cell division that results in haploid cells. Answer coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cyclins regulate the cell cycle: mitosis, body cells; diploid, meiosis, sex cells; haploid. All right, on to mitosis, which is 10-2, and meiosis, which is 11-4 in your book. Mitosis and cytokinesis are the 2 main stages of blank blank. Answer coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cell division. Mitosis produces blank cells, while meiosis produces blank cells. How do we categorize those types of cells? Answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so body cells, scientific word is a somatic cell, and sex cells, or reproductive cells, or gametes. True or false? If a cell's haploid chromosome number is 24, its diploid chromosome number is 12. Meiosis produces cells that are haploid in blank from the parent cell. Mitosis produces cells that are diploid in blank the parent cell. Answers coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so that's false. The haploid number is 24. The diploid number would be 48. Meiosis produces cells that are different from the parent, genetically different, and body cells are supposed to be the same as or identical as the parent cell. What structure in plant cells forms instead of the cleavage furrow that is found in animal cells? So this would be during cytokinesis. Blank blank leads to genetic variation, creates new combination of alleles, and exchanges portions of chromatids. I'll give you a hint. If it happens in prophase 1. Identical chromosomes are referred to as blank. Answer coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so it's a cell plate that forms instead of the cleavage furrow. Crossing over leads to new combinations of genes and alleles and genetic variation, and homologous chromosomes are referred to as identical chromosomes. The repeated movement of water between the Earth's surface and the atmosphere is called what? I'll give you a hint. it has transpiration, it has evaporation, it has condensation, it has runoff, it has percolation. 5, 4, 3, precipitation, 2, and 1. That'd be the water cycle. If an enzyme's activity slows down as the temperature increases, what is likely happening to that enzyme? The original source of almost all of the energy in most ecosystems is what? Answer coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And here we go. Damaged or destroyed, the bonds that make up that protein get broken, and the three-dimensional structure gets altered. And remember, enzymes and substrates have a lock and key type fit. So if you change the structure of the protein, it's not going to be able to match the substrate, and the reaction is going to stop. Sunlight fuels photosynthesis, which brings all of that glucose into the producer level and provides food for everything else. A solution with a pH above 7 is called what? A solution with a pH below 7 is called what? And a solution with a pH equal to 7 is called what? Give me just a minute. I'm doing a video real quick. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so that's basic or alkaline. Acidic is going to be less than 7. Above 7 is basic alkaline, and neutral is equal to 7. Almost done, guys. Give me 1 second. Diagram below shows the relative amount of blank available in an ecosystem. True or false? The following represents the correct sequence of phases for mitosis: interphase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. And proteins are polymers made of monomers called what? Answer coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so this is the amount of energy. So remember, you lose 90% of the energy each trophic level you advance up. False, interphase is not part of mitosis. It is preparation for mitosis. And amino acids are the monomers that make up proteins. All right, y'all, I hope you found that video nice and useful. And we will see you in class.